having a conversation this morning, and it brought up I don't know if it's a unique perspective, but it's one that I probably have felt and, I won't say followed, but it's probably something that I've surrendered to as a truth of mine, or a truth that I've never actually verbalized. And it's funny how, which is really the basis of this podcast, is when I say it out loud, especially in this way, it just becomes that much more apparent and clearer to me. And I just enjoy sharing it. But just speaking about, I don't know, for the last, maybe month and a half or so, it just feels like, to me, and I think in some ways, the people that I've been around, that I've talked to, it's kind of similar. Like, it just seems like a lot is happening kind of all at the same time. Like, just out of nowhere, I just started to feel like at the end of each day, like a lot more was going on than I was aware of during the day. And I could feel the effects of it at the end of the day where I normally didn't. And I was just like, man, is there more stress? Is it just, am I managing a bunch of different stuff? And I go back and I look and I'm like, kind of combing over my experiences through the day and my emotions and what I felt. And it doesn't feel like anything that I haven't dealt with or that I haven't been, in the midst of for a while now. It just, I don't know, maybe it's affecting me different. Anyway, cut to the conversation that I was having this morning. It was, we were discussing balance, and kind of feeling off kilter, and just the simple way that sometimes you, without even knowing it, do the simplest things in your life to create a sense of balance. Like, in this case, this person was about to do or embark upon a mentally stressful task and paired it with, quote unquote, the best cup of coffee ever. And, intentionally I said, it's all about balance. You balance that stress with something that you think is amazing, and then all of a sudden everything kind of evens out. And then it just made me think about life in general, and it's my experience, because my comment back to her is the universe demands it. That's the thing, is like, we don't always seek balance, or we don't always realize that we're in the midst of the universe getting back to equilibrium. Like, everybody wants to be up. Everybody wants to be up, and they don't, and we as individuals don't always have a perspective that us being up may be off balance to the universe. And it's a lot to say about perspective and what is actually being up, right? Because if you're climbing uphill, Being up is just getting to the plateau, right? You're no longer fighting to get to the top. You're actually on level ground. Just like if you were sliding down uncontrollably, being up means getting to the point where you're no longer sliding down. It's all about perspective, how you're looking at your situation and what's required to actually be at equilibrium. And my perspective on life has shifted to really just recognizing that I'm not bigger than the universe. I'm a part of it. And I see a lot of posts on social media about how we can control the universe, or how we put our demands out into the universe and the universe will give us what we want if we just ask for it. And, not to be disparaging or belittling or condescending, but that's a cute thought, right? And when you don't feel like you're putting negativity out into the universe, that makes sense, right? But the people that do negative things in the community or in the world, they're following the same model that you're following. They're putting out into the universe what they want, willing to do whatever it takes to get there, and they believe that the universe will give them exactly what it is they want, regardless of its effect on the people around them. Now, as a individual who, just wants to have a good day, you don't feel like you're a detriment or a negative drain or a menace to society. But you never know, right? You don't know what you're doing may and how it could be affecting the overall iteration of the universe. You don't know. We can't even fathom it. And so what I think I've done, which I'm probably going to share with my friend, is just shifting my perspective, or understanding that sometimes that off-kilter feeling that we have, or that, weird, man, this day has seemed, or it seems like at the end of it, there's been a lot more happening than I really was paying attention to. Sometimes that feeling is there because not that I need to change the universe, but that the universe is trying to tell me to shift. I need to be, the way that I look at my day and the way that I do things, my perspective needs to change. We, as humans, have a habit of getting to a point where things seem to be balanced and seem to be where we want them at, and then we get stuck in that iteration of reality, thinking that, okay, this is where I'm good at. This is where I'm supposed to be good at. And any attempt to move me from this square, my job is to get myself back to this place. And what I believe, or what I think is actually real, is if we're always evolving, if we're always growing, if we're always changing, if the universe is always in motion, then maybe that area of, or that place of equilibrium is as temporary as everything else. And I need to surf the wave instead of trying to be it. Like, no matter how much I wave my arms, I can never be more powerful than the ocean. I'm never going to create a current or a swell. I could splash a little bit, but I'm never going to be more powerful than the ocean. My power comes from tapping into the power of the ocean, riding the wave, surfing the current, using it to propel me to where it wants me to be. Recognizing that if I align with the universe, that feeling of balance can last longer. Sometimes you're supposed to feel uncomfortable to remind you that you have to pivot, that you have to move, that times have changed, that perspective has changed, that growth has happened, that decay has happened, and you need to let go of some shit, that you need to move. That's why you feel that. The universe is gently reminding you that it's time to find a new point. The wave is changing and you need to tilt your hips and ride this thing. And honestly, without even thinking about it, it's kind of what I've been doing. And literally in an afternoon, my perspective and my thought process and just my whole reality on a day-to-day basis is changing, and I already feel lighter. And all of this is kind of coming full circle because of a simple good morning text conversation I had today. So thank you. And the truth lies here. Talk to you again soon.